Khachaturian be expelled from the competition hall, the training hall, in fact the field of play, as a result of the behaviour of the Armenian coaching squad. I say it has been recommended, it has not been acted on.
Yeah, see, that's interesting. I just skimmed that and I thought they had said that was the case. Good for you for reading that carefully.
More on that in a moment. And this is Janos Baranai, coached back home by his dad of the same name, who was a junior world champion back in the 70s. If you get a chance here, have a look at the, can't see it from here, the right elbow inside. This man had one of the most horrible dislocations in the Beijing Olympic Games that any of us have had the misfortune to see. And what he's got tattooed inside that, there you can just see it there, that is Beijing 2000
really?
As a memory of the worst dislocation.
Yeah. That's funny, I don't recall that, the dislocation. Well, he's a bionic man, could be stronger than ever with that elbow. Very muscular looking for a weightlifter. I mean, remember, this is not a bodybuilding contest, so beach muscles don't count for anything, and they also don't really particularly help you on these lifts. We've had two guys back-to-back. They're kind of stout looking, particularly in the upper body, for weightlifters, shoulders, arms, that kind of thing. This guy's a lot smoother, but both of them have a lot more muscle mass up there than you'll sometimes see in a top weightlifter in this bodyweight class.
Now, if this man doesn't want to collect the wooden spoon for being the lowest total on the A group, then he really needs to lift this to keep himself somewhere near the action.
The wooden spoon.
Not the shiny cup.
Yeah. I knew about the Luncheon Rouge, but...
15 seconds.
I was with him on that. I really wanted him to save that, you know, because of this hole he's kind of dug himself in with bad track record in the snatches. And boy, you could see how the snatch really is a balancing act, and thought he was going to save it. Not sure if it was really going backwards, but then starts coming forward with it. Pumps those hips to get a little bit of a plyometric start before the pull. Adjust the hips back, and now he's starting to lose it forward. I think the bar was drifting back. He adjusts his hips, overcompensated. There's not much of a landing spot up there in terms of keeping things in balance, and ends up losing the bar in front. But at least he got on the board.
But still, the Lithuanian from earlier in the day leading the B group and coming out for his first attempt. This is the Frenchman Benjamin Hennequin, 26 years of age, from not too many kilometers away from Bordeaux. And talking to the French coaching team, everything's gone well. He's in good form and needs to put his 3 attempts in here and then be close enough to really use that strong clean and jerk in the second half. He was 8th in the world when he picked up 163 in the snatch phase. He needs to do at least that, and if he can, I would say a couple of kilos more.
Made easy work of that.
Yeah, and I think in a way that's a sensible thing to do. You know, that was a weight which he's done trillions of times, and you know, just gets him going now, and he can build from here. I think he's the sort of guy that needs that.
Yeah, you know, because he's really got to limit the damage here, and I don't know, you know, realistically, is he a possibility for the podium and the total? Certainly can think about that in the clean and jerk.
So the former Ukrainian Anatoly Moshik, interesting, coming in at 160, and I was talking to his coach, and he was looking for 170, which is a PB, and 200, so this is pretty conservative.
Look at the difference in his body build compared to the prior lifters. That's what I was talking about in terms of muscular build. And he's opening with heavier weights. watch that. He's kind of looking at people and, hey, check this out. Still some intensity about him. Twists a little bit counterclockwise, you'll notice, when he's in the bottom position. Lifters tend to do that. I don't know if it's because most people, maybe the left side is a little short of the leg, but the rotation tends to be counterclockwise. Watch, here it comes. Nice lift.
So here is last season's European bronze medalist and coached by Bogdan Mokrinovsky, the public address speaker, Mikolai Novikov if you're in Belarus, Mikolai Novikov if you're in Russia.
He's coached by the Polish guy.
Good start. No, that was all about the pronunciation of his name.
Oh, I was wondering about that. Well, now this guy's got some big shoes to fill, of course, because he's got a countryman who's done some big lifts in that weight class. Here he comes, setting up for the snatch, pulls, very easy, very smooth lift.
Yeah, the European snatch record indeed is also the world snatch record, which is Andrei Rybakov, and 187 is that world record. So we're some way off that at the moment.
And those are the shoes that he's got to think about filling at some point, hopefully.
I think you concentrate on winning the medals tonight and worry about that.
Oh, tonight, absolutely. He's not close to that level yet.
So back onto the stage, the Hungarian also on the medal table now. Esther Crisler putting them on with a bronze medal earlier on today in the women's 69 kilo competition. Very dynamic, and although he takes a few steps forward, I think that was a good second attempt.
Yeah, you know, one thing that's nice is we're getting off to a good start in terms of successful lifts. You get a feeling of success, positive momentum building here. Big crowd, as you point out. You can feel the energy, and the layout here is somewhat unusual in that we're sitting quite close to the stage, and the spectators are immediately behind us. So you got this sense of contact almost between the crowd and the lifters, and you get successful lifts, fires up the crowd, which in turn the lifter feeds off.
Still Mikevicius of Lithuania, who leads with 161 from the B group earlier today in the snatch. Just to put that in perspective, he didn't prosper so well in the clean and jerk. That's Yuftin.
Yeah, and he was starting his warm-ups earlier than his teammate, even before the introductions. And you know, you mentioned that it's unusual. They were on side-by-side platforms. They were chatting. They were jovial. It wasn't the warlike, one of us is going to win, the other's going to lose sort of feeling that we see on some teams.
The story with them actually this evening, they called a taxi actually to bring them here. And the traffic in Kazan can be a bit murderous at certain times of the day. The taxi didn't turn up. They started to walk. Then they realized they were short of time. A policeman out on the street recognized Yufkin, stopped a car, and instructed the car to bring them to the stadium.
So you could do that in Russia. I'm not sure you could do that in California. I mean, maybe our former governor could have, but yeah, good for them for doing that.
Yeah, on the other hand, not the greatest of organization.
Yeah, well, you can't predict traffic, huh?
Yeah, Kazan, a population of Greater Kazan would be about 1,300,000. But the traffic here, usually it's okay, but you know, there are a couple of times of the day when it can be usual Friday evening rush hour everywhere. Yeah. So Baranai, and the bar's gone to 163 now. Now this would put him into the overall lead. So this for 3 out of 3 and the advantage, the early advantage. 20 seconds. That bar was moving out in front of him, his hips were behind.
Yeah, you could see some wiggling going on, adjusting in the bottom position, trying to save it, but it just wasn't there.
He moved up to this weight category after the Olympic Games, after the horrible dislocation as a 77-kilo.
Boy, look how low he got. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, David, but boy, almost touches the platform with his glutes. We're not going to see it there, but Max is out in depth. I'm sorry.
Not at all. There you can see what Randy was referring to. Just a few centimeters above the floor.
Yeah, technically he'd be DQ'd to lose the lift, for that contact. I don't know if a referee would really do it. There's no advantage, but it's one of the rules on the books.
Again, very difficult for the referees to actually see, who are sitting basically head on. And onto the stage comes the Armenian for his opening attempt at 165. This is Edgar Gavozyan, 28 years of age, from Armenia. And as you can see, pretty heavily strapped on the knees here as well. This title won by his teammate last year. That was Gavordik Pogosyan, who's actually moved up to tomorrow's 94-kilo class.
Fast.
Yeah, really
fast.
Really whipped that bar off the stage.
Well, and really, I mean, the real thing is the acceleration from about the knees on up, and then also when you reverse direction, the speed, and there it is, acceleration. You watch that, boom. It's not just velocity, it's how much extra gas he can give it when it gets to, knee or mid-thigh height. That's called the second pull. Watch, boom. And then he's got to reverse directions, race it down. This guy's quick. He's got these sleeves on his knee. They're not really for support, as you'd have in powerlifting. It's more of a warmth thing. Hennigan, you'll see when he comes out, also is wearing a sleeve of that type. It's more a warmth thing.
Hennigan going up 5 kilos here. So that really was an opening confidence lift for him. And now he begins to test himself a little bit more. I can't remember him doing 165. I can remember him doing 162, 163. Certainly not in the last couple of years, Randy. Needs to get under it, feet in line.
Yeah, that's a big lift for him, huh?
That is a very big lift for him.
It's a statement of the confidence he had to take a 5-kilo increase, and then he makes the lift, sinks the putt. I'll tell you, if this guy lays some serious snatches on tonight, start watching for him on a podium, crosses his feet, he can go all over the platform on the recovery. It doesn't matter, as long as the lift is fine and you return the barbell any place on that platform, the lift is good. Doesn't get bonus points even though he did cross his feet. Nice lift though, that's his reward.
So 165 for Hennigan. He weighed in heavier than Gavozyan, the Armenian, who's got the same weight, so he goes into second place. And now this is Moshik, representing Israel, weighed in at 84.20. So this is his second attempt, and it would be the lead if he can get it. Coach. Steely-eyed, just watching. And interestingly, also in the background, a couple of the Ukrainian coaches. Needs to hold this together, and that's pretty good. And he's going to get 3 whites for that. And this man, certainly for his not newly adopted country, because what happened was, as I said, he came from the Ukraine, married an Israeli girl who was a weightlifter, set up home in Beersheba. He's actually a member of the Tel Aviv Maccabi club, which is rather better known for basketball, but also has a weightlifting division. And Novikov now, 165. Popular weight at the moment, this for second attempts. And 84.57, his body weight, which means that if he does this, he would go into third place, and we'd have 4 men on this particular weight. That bar just moving away behind there, Randy.
Yeah, up and over. Let's watch in slow motion. Let's watch in particular what happens with the bar as it goes from knee height up to hip height. See if he makes contact. If you boot the bar with your thighs thinking you're going to give it a little boost, you send it out forward sometimes and swing it behind your head right there, and you lose it.
And I tell you what, Randy, you can really feel that the hall is full tonight because the body temperature in the whole hall has gone up.
I noticed that. I got to say, in fairness to him, you know what? He didn't bang it with his thighs. It was when he finished that pull, it was up high. Still, must have put a little bit of an arc on the bar, and that's why he lost the lift overhead. You can imagine this being in a full squat, and you're holding, in this case, 165 kilos over your head. Now let's make it more complicated. You're lifting it from the platform to arm's length overhead while you're in a full squat. It's a balancing act as well as strength. Taking almost no time at all. He's coming back out with minute 17.
Yeah, Yufkin's gone up 166. So just waiting for this to unfold a little bit. It's very cluttered at the top of the leaderboard. 165, a minute to get it. Yeah, just held on to that. And he gets his 165 to stay in touch, goes into 4th place. So Moshik of Israel, Gavogian of Armenia, Novikov of Belarus, and Enikin of France, all on 165. But at 166, here comes the first of the Russian challenges. Alexei Afghan, the world silver medalist, the European champion back in 2009, when he totals 369 for the championship, won it in Bucharest in Romania. And Yufkin, 25 years of age, really coming into the height of his powers. Just over half a minute to settle. Visualize. Arms almost out at the full extremity of the bar. Locking on, wrapping around the thumb. That is the explosive electric speed that you look for. Terrific opener there. And the crowd, well, as you can imagine, predominantly a Russian fan club here, and they got 2 men to applaud, and that was worth a round of applause.
Yeah, they're following closely. You could feel the atmosphere change when first Coach David Riegert came out, and then his lifter, just the kind of opening they'd want. Nice, big, successful lift. He's got 167 on the board next. Probably be a change.
And again, he's been in this weight class now for a couple of years. And it's Benjamin Enikin for France, up to 167, which would be a new personal best for him. And it would be 3 out of 3, and this would be a very successful first half for him, given the strength that he can bring to bear in the second half. A medal, an overall championship medal, is not out of the question, but these extra couple of kilos would certainly help his cause, his quest for the overall podium. Coming up to 15 seconds. Come on, come on, come on. Ah! That was very close indeed. Really gave it his best shot. But as the bar got away from him there, just couldn't complete. Obviously, just that heavier weight. Here you can see it. He rocks back, the bar takes him back.
Yeah, and you know what? He did well, though. He didn't get 3 lifts, but he got 2 good snatches.
Now the first appearance of Alexei Afghan, the 18-year-old junior world champion. His teammate Yufkin on the board in the lead with 166, and the younger man by some 7 years going for 168 and the lead. Alexei. Two kilos short of what he lifted in the Junior Worlds last season in Sofia, opening up on this weight. Good start. Comes from a little place called Uruz-Matan, just about 40 kilometers from Grozny in Chechnya, and one of 7 brothers and sisters, 3 younger boys who are actually in the family who lift, and the Russians have started well.
Boy, he just stuck that. Watch this. Boom. Feet don't move. Everything's right where it should be. Impressive lift.
So Yufkin about to come out as well to riposte, and that will be a 3 kilo increase at the moment proposed to take him to 169. And just to mention also Edgar Gavogyan of Armenia, still with 2 attempts to come.
Next lifter, Anatoly Mushik, Israel, Certified. Anatoly Mushik, Israel. Also goes up 170 kilograms on the bar. Также меняет 170 установить. Now new lifter, Edgar Gevorgyan. Edgar Gevorgyan, Armenia. Second attempt.
So the bar going up to 170. The man who's in the lead is Alexei Afghan of Russia. Again, plenty of time, 30 seconds for Gavogyan. The Armenians very successful in this weight category last year. They did a 1-2 with Bogosian getting the gold and Khachaturian taking the silver. And you can see there the arms never locked out there on 170. He has one more attempt.
Alexei Afghan, Russia, second attempt. The same.
Almost looked like he had it, popped right back out. Pull, boom, underneath, not quite there, can't fix the weight overhead. Look at the disappointment, the body language is telling you it all.
One more go as Yufkin comes out now on 170 to try and regain the lead from his teammate Akadov. And Yufkin weighed in at 84.62, slightly lighter than his younger teammate who weighed in at 84.70. And just rock back there. But Randy, just for me, rather gave that away.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he did that on purpose, but not a lift that you can afford to miss easily. We're expecting this to be hotly contested. Pulls, pops. Just going back, he's fighting, he's trying to hold. Might not look like it, David, but he is straining to hold that. This guy, look at this. I mean, he looks extremely precise in the war room, and he's stoic, so you might think he's giving up, but I didn't mean it in that way, not giving up. So Moshik now, 170 kilos, down in third place in the bronze medal position.
and 170, weighed in at 84.20, so even on body weight he'd go ahead, but he's going to go ahead on kilos if he does this. His last attempt, but a crucial one. This could keep him in the medals and close to the action. The former Ukrainian now representing Israel. And it's these third attempts which are where the big questions are being asked now. Two good first attempts, 160, 165, 170. That would have been right on his personal best here.
Yeah, you know, we're starting to, in the general way, we're hitting weights now where these are getting hard for these guys. We're seeing a lot of misses. It's because they're pushing themselves. And the guy who breaks through this barrier is leaving with a medal around his neck tonight.
So Gevorgian out now, and 170. Last chance for him. Now he's currently in 4th place, but this would take him from 4th to gold and will give him a 2 kilo advantage over Akadov of Russia, who's got 2 attempts left, and also Yufkin's got 1 attempt left. So this for the lead. Yeah, well, it is the third attempts, as you said, Randy. This is where the harder questions are being asked. But, you know, a couple of years ago, even though he didn't total up in the Olympic Games, he was doing 176 in the snatch division. So 170 under normal circumstances should have been achievable.
Big test for Lufkin coming up right now. Can he do this?
Well, even if he does manage to do it, it would put him in the lead, but his younger teammate has got 2 opportunities to come back at him. Yufkin posting the higher kilos in the clean and jerk for a start, so Akadov, on paper at least, will be wanting to stay ahead. Yufkin needing to stay close. And that is a good correction. Very strong, very precise. And Alexei Afghan, the world silver medalist, shows quality and maturity there, taking himself up into the gold medal position. And there's one man alive who has 2 attempts to take the lead away from him.
David Rieger giving him a pat on the back, which is the feeling you could have through this entire hall, where he got a great ovation. Mentioned earlier, this guy seemed to be on the money back in the warm-up room. Isn't cracking smiles or anything. Look at him, serious. Very precise lifter was the feeling I got watching him warming up. Okay, teammate, as you say, he's got 2 chances now to come back.
So Yufkin's in gold, Akadov is in silver, and Anatoly Moshik of Israel is in the bronze medal position, and that's the first medal for Israel at these championships. So Apti Akadov, the junior world champion, just 18 years of age. So this for a 3 kilo advantage, 173, and the snatch medal gold. He stays on 168, but has 1 more attempt to get past his teammate Yufkin.
Yeah, you know, it's not over until it's over, and just because a guy's got 2 attempts doesn't mean it's going to happen. So let's watch this lift now in slow motion, see what happens. Breaks the bar off the platform, pop, just slightly behind him. Really saw the feet come up as he was finishing the pole, not something that you strive to do, although you are kind of jumping with the bar, but moves under it and can't fix it overhead. Just trying to relax him, because obviously it's not a case of the weight being too heavy. It's a technique thing, getting the weight in the right place. Now, Yufkin might, he might like him, but he's got to take some measure of, well, maybe the gap's not going to be as big. It's a little bit of satisfaction maybe, but game face.
Yeah, he's more the local man. Comes from Saransk, which is not so far from here. Coached by Yuri Savin. So at the moment, they're in the ascendant, and Apti has got to try and come back and put himself on terms, or not on terms, in fact, to give himself a 3 kilo advantage. And you know, when you look at those clean and jerk weights, it slightly suggests that Yufkin might have the edge there. So these 3 kilos, pretty important.
He's got some intensity about him. Look at his face.
So once again, this is for the lead. It's for the snatch gold medal. It's for the edge as we go into the halfway break. 28 seconds. And you could hear a pin drop. David Riggott. And there it is. David Riggott and Apti Arkadov have had the discussion. They've turned it around, they've corrected the falls, and they've taken the lead.
And in less than 1 second performance, he changes the course of things here. Nice lift, stuck that. Boom, it really shows you how athletic this thing is. It's a snatch, try it if you've never done one.
So a 3 kilo advantage. He is heavier than Yufkin, and Anatoly Moshik confirmed in 3rd place ahead of Gevorgian of Armenia. And just having a look at that situation, that means Israel become the 13th country to medal at these championships. So we're into the interval, and the 2 Russian boys settling back because they have put in the most significant opening weights in the clean and jerk. 205 for Yufkin, 200 for Arkadov, Benjamin Enekin for